If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Holy schmoly maloli.
What happened?
Just a lot of craziness happening in the world.
It's a mad craziness.
Shout out to the big homie Joe Rogan. Holy shit.
Oh my gosh. What a ridiculous. Holy
what a world.
Moly. Okay, you guys, we're not even going to. Wow.
All right, there, listener.
All right, up next is the song Oathbreaker. Oh no, I'm sorry. The band is Oathbreaker. The song itself is Second Son of R. And Mike Bigums is the one that brought this, well, he's the one that asked for this song and got all the thumbs up on it. But actually, the person that brought this song to us is Code Slammer, who's paying for this entire stream.
Gang.
Just to bless the village for Christmas.
Homie.
So that's
boom, boom,
that's
boom.
just crazy. We've seen a couple crazy things while we've been doing this channel, and this right there is one of them.
This is up there. This is up there, like big time up there. Big time up there. Let's seize the means of production and get the merch for free. I'd like to see you try, sir. That's called theft. All right. Let's do it. Oathbreaker. What's the name of the song again?
Second Son of R.
Second Son of R. This should be interesting. Is this the right?
Into the gray cobblestones of a back alley to our house. You forgot. Do you
Twitter.
Jeez, shit. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh boy. Oh my gosh.
I feel like it's probably not a very good week for you to hear this song.
Yeah, probably not. But you know what? God decreed it. So what are we gonna do?
It's Qadar Allah. What can
Yeah.
you do? But yikes. All right. So it's interesting because the name of the name of the album is called Rhea.
Rhea?
Yeah, that's the name of the title.
What does that mean,
And
Rhea? I
I'm
love that
assuming-
name.
I'm assuming that's
Look how it's spelt even.
I'm assuming that's a woman's name. And the name of the song is Son of R. So I don't know. Maybe she's talking about her brother. I don't know. It's the name of a goddess, though.
Yeah, in
but
Greek mythology.
she
Titaness,
spelled
daughter
it
of
with
the
an
earth,
I.
goddess Gaia, and the sky god.
Yeah. So.
Okay. I love that name, Rhea. Okay. Oh my god. Raised in between doll-shaped smoke. Insects in every corner of our rotten house. I hid in the walls of my room, tasting clean air through a window crack. In these childhood dreams where imagination was key, I drove the needle through my skin, weaving a delicate net to embrace me and hold me to sleep where no one could see, where no one could hear me breathe. Your empty house won't comfort me. Don't make me pity you. Don't make me pity you in the end. Don't make me pity you, and do not make me pity you in the end. I won't forget the years when disappointment was key. Blood runs thick in the veins of guilt. Drowning your promises made never embrace me. Made never embrace me. And hold me to sleep where no one could see, where no one could hear me breathe. Your shallow heart doesn't soothe me. Your false love won't break
This
me.
one says, weaving a delicate net to embrace me.
Yeah, that's the first verse. Keep going.
Drowning, your promises made never embrace me. The promises that you made never embraced her. Never were fulfilled, basically.
Uh-huh. What does she mean when she says, blood runs thick in veins of guilt?
I think that means that,
It was a family member that...
yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. This drunken body I've left behind and the problems that are no longer mine. I resided under your broken feathers for too long. Scraps of pictures in a box is what remains of those childhood dreams. You'll never know the person I've become. Okay. I mean, something about the video was so painful and captivating, like the way that she, you know, was moving and the things that she was doing with her body and with the cloth that she had, you know, like covering her face and then putting the thing around her neck and pulling that thing, just the way that she was. And I think that, you know, when betrayal or abuse or pain comes from someone that's close to you, it's all the more painful, you know, because it's family. You're saying that this could possibly be her brother?
Well, it says "Son of R" is the name of the song. It's called "Son of R," and Rhea is the mother of, you know, whatever. So, and it's talking about blood and family and things of that nature. So, I'm not saying that, like, you know, anytime you see stuff like this and it's a woman, I automatically assume that there is a certain kind of violation that happened, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the case.
Yeah.
It could just be those things that happen in families that, you know.
When she said, "Don't make me pity you," that part was like...
Yeah, I was like, well, shit, this is not the... This is not the, but go ahead. I mean, this is basically your song at this point. So go ahead, say what you have to say, or don't, or whatever. It's up to you.
Yeah, I think like that's kind of like. I feel like that's kind of been like the staple of like bad people in my life, is that they want to like switch the narrative and make themselves the victim and make themselves the party to be pitied. And you know, that person that, you know, after all these years, I finally was like, you know what, fuck this, I'm confronting this person. And you know, when I started messaging him, it was if you were just from Mars and you had no clue what was going on, I looked like the psychotic person that had like I think that the like one of the sickest things was the person was acting like I don't understand what you're doing. Like, what is this? Like, it doesn't seem like that you're a person that's looking for healing. It looks like you're just an enraged, angry person. And it's like, well, no, admit what you've done. And then they just wanted me to say what they had done. So it's like, okay, so you're not sorry or repentant for anything that you did because you won't even say it out loud. And secondly, you're trying to put it on me to say it. Why? So you can have relive some sick fantasy of yours. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to type that out, motherfucker. No. No. So, I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to say much about this song because it just, you know, it kind of just feels too similar. And like I said, her body movements and the stuff that she was doing, like the stress that she was projecting or expressing through her body and through her voice was just, it just reminded me too much of my own self. So it was like hard to watch. And yet I couldn't not watch it because I don't know. Your shallow heart doesn't soothe me. Your false love won't break me. But then don't make me pity you. Because if you're like I don't know what it is. It could look like, some people could look at it as weakness, or some people could look at it as like, I don't want to be as dark as you are. But if I pity you at all, like somehow that feels like it takes away from the wrath that should be yours for what the person has done. You know what I mean?
Well, the problem in those systems is that, and I think there's a reason she calls it son of R, is that there's almost always people enabling that person. So she calls it son of R, which to me means that I'm not going to blame the mom, but those situations those people almost never act alone. And so
yeah, there's a system of people that will protect those people.
Of enablers.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That will enable that person and go along.
It's unbelievable.
They're really the first gaslighters. They're the ones that'll be like, it's like, oh, I did, we were just having a conversation about how could so and so allow such and such thing to
right
when you knew that this person was a fucking predator.
Right.
And
right.
And like you said, when they were slamming the guy and complaining about him, everybody was like, "Oh, I tried to warn so and so." But then when they're rolling it, is confronted. It's
then all of a sudden they had no clue. Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
I had no idea.
Okay, then why were you telling all those stories for all those years about that person?
Because you're supposed to go along just like everybody else and not talk about it and yada yada.
Yeah,
yada.
no, that's completely true. That's obvious. That's obvious.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's been like that for like a lot of different things. If you want to talk about, even just something as simple as, you're not supposed to gossip, but then they're gossiping around you. So it's like, well, so maybe it's okay to, that's when I kind of like adopted the idea that, I guess it's all right to gossip as long as you're just, you're gossiping with your husband.
Well, that's the thing where it says your shallow heart doesn't soothe me, which is usually something that a mother is supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And so, like, somebody has done something. In my opinion, it looks like, and again, I might be reading, the situation that, but it just looks like she'd gone through something very painful, and then the mother's role is to soothe her, but she's saying your shallow heart doesn't soothe me, and your false love won't break me, which is,
I know that
these systems, they're and I'm not saying that the mother has no love whatsoever, and obvious.
No, and I don't think that that's what she means either. I think that it means you're projecting that you have this certain level of love, but love itself should have a protective elements to it, and you were not that protector. So,
but it's designed to break you from seeking justice, and it's designed to break you from speaking the truth.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, she's saying stuff in this song, but she's still keeping it coded.
Right. Because it's called Son of
R.
And I'm sure that
she talks about the blood.
Yeah.
But she doesn't,
Which, I mean, to be fair, we're also speaking in very coded
Oh, I know.
So it's one of those things where it's very, very hard to I come in as an outsider. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I said what I had to say to a male. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had it up to here about a specific situation. So I said what I had to say to the dude. You know what I'm saying? But he, in reality, is probably the least responsible individual. When I look back at, at everything. You know what I'm saying? So, I said what I said, and they try to cover it over with some religious bullshit. Mm-hmm. Oh, we'll all be in heaven.
I know. Literally, I thought the same thing. As soon as she said it, I forgot to tell you that. As soon as she said it, I was like, because I was on my way upstairs to go get something. Bring the babies a bottle or something like that. As I'm on my way up the stairs, I heard that line. I was like, yo.
I didn't even put that together.
I forgot to tell you,
but
that
of course,
I put it together.
I was like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, nah, we're not going to settle this in heaven, motherfucker.
Right. Right.
We're going to take care of Yeah. But, that's one of the blessings of being a middle child, I think, is that, I didn't, because I was a black sheep, we never, I don't know, man. Like,
I think, religion
it's not my place to say.
Religion is used. It can be used so badly, because the reason that I would keep quiet about stuff, or the reason that I did or didn't do certain things, was because I wanted Jesus to be happy with me. Like, I didn't want to be like a bad girl for Jesus. You know what I mean? Like, I was a little kid. So, you know, but I always felt like there was kind of like two versions of God. Like the version of Jesus that comforted me in my room was not the same one that was condemning me. Which is why I think I came up with God the Father and Jesus.
I mean, there's a reason that Jesus says, if you cause one of these little ones who believe in me to stumble, it would be better for you to kill yourself. Mm-hmm. And, you know, where he says, tie a millstone around your neck and throw yourself into the sea. Mm-hmm. So there is... the problem is that religious people in authority, because they don't like any sort of accountability, will not tell you those passages, and will not tell you the implications of those passages. Mm-hmm. Will not tell you about how he recognizes societal structures that put women in impossible situations, and then says the people that put the woman in the situation are held to way more account. Mm-hmm. Or what happens when you dishonor children and things like that. Like, kill yourself. Like, you'll never hear anybody talk about that. Like, a lot of times when I say that, that's the first time people even heard that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, they'll never talk about where he says, I desire mercy and not sacrifice. And if you would have understood this text, you would not have condemned the innocent. Mm-hmm. None of those things get talked about. It's a very curated version of who Jesus is. Yeah. And it's designed to keep people who have survived their bullshit. I don't even like the term victimization, but it's designed to keep people who have survived their bullshit to not speak for justice. Yep. And a lot of times when a person is seeking justice, it gets characterized as complaining or bitching, vengeance, or get over it, or they'll say vengeance and things like that. Or that
you're trying to be the one why are you trying to cause problems? Why are you trying to stir stuff up?
Right.
Like, this already happened.
Why are you being so divisive? Right. It already happened. There's all the crazy shit.
Or they want to throw smoke at it and make it seem like everything like you imagined it.
Right. And then they don't want to deal with the fact that it says the things will be darkness, the done in darkness should be exposed. Have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness. Yep. Rather, expose them.
Right. But that's the Bible, but they're not following the Bible. So I'm not going to disregard Christianity or say I don't want any parts of Christianity because of what evil people have done with the religion. Like, lots of evil has been done in the names of certain things, but
I just think it's ridiculous. If you're in a desert, I think it's ridiculous to say, well, you know, water has killed millions of people.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's good.
Ridiculous. We know water has killed millions of people. Mm-hmm. We also know that we cannot survive on this planet without water because we're life forms that are made up of 70% water. So I'm not gonna get rid of Jesus because other people. It's just like what we say. The solution to bad speech is more speech, right? The solution to people manipulating the Bible is more Bible. Read it for yourself. Because if you read it for yourself, you would find Jesus saying these things. You would find him standing up for the underdog. Yeah. You would find him saying, no, we need to expose these things. And you would find God saying, some of the shit that we're talking about, people got executed for. Mm-hmm. Period. Mm-hmm. Forget, don't say mean things to this person. Like, it's like I said to that person, you're lucky that motherfucker's still on the earth, man. So, like I said, I was thinking, I'm like looking at this and being like, shit, this is not the fucking song that we need to be listening to. But at the same time, it's been a rough week, but it is what it is. The show has to go on. Well, I agree with you. Religion is not essential, but Jesus is, because he sustains my life and your life and life on the planet and life on other planets that we don't know. Now, that's either true or false. If it's false, then do what you will with it. But if it's true, then you have to deal with it. Yeah. So, and it's true.
Yeah.
Could do what they will with that, man. But that's where we stand. But holy shit.
Right. Yep. Yeah, and that's the thing too, like what people have done in the name of religion. I mean, whatever. I can't change that. I do know that as a little girl, I had some very dark times. And I know that the only thing that brought me through so much of that, because I've told you guys before, like, you couldn't even say depression. The Christians weren't even supposed to get depressed. So anything that I was feeling or experiencing, I had to internalize that. I had nobody to talk to. You couldn't see a therapist. I didn't even know, like because there was discussions of God and the devil and like what God and what the devil was, like there was a clear line that was sort of drawn. And then the feelings that I was having, the darkness that I was experiencing, like, it's not like I could say, hey, this is what I'm experiencing, because then it's like, well, I'm basically saying I'm the devil. And I wasn't the devil, and I knew I wasn't the devil, but I didn't understand what I was going through. And the only one that I could talk to, was Jesus. And I spent a lot of time in prayer as a little girl, and I spent a lot of time actually singing as a little girl. Because that was the only place where I could find peace, that and being outside, and in water, but that's still outside, I guess. So, I mean, that's what got me through. And I think that to me is like, there can be a lot of bullshit with religion. There can be a lot of lies. There can be a lot of things something that's taken and just a piece of it's taken, and then people use it to twist stuff to control other people. But that was not the original intention of the scriptures. The original intention of the Bible is that we can all find freedom, and that we can know our Creator, the one that made us, and we can walk in that. And so, like, I don't know. I'm not going to be able to explain it as good and as amazing as Vin is, but I can tell you that the only place when stuff gets dark, the only place that you can find that light is talking to Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it needs to be defended. I mean, listen, that's
been my experience.
The folks who do that stuff are violating God's decrees, whether they're Old or New Testament. So it doesn't need to be defended. For human dignity, people talk about what's essential and what's not essential. What's essential is finding a philosophical reason for human dignity across the board, that explains why violating a person is wrong in the first place. But no, and again, the main perpetrator here is not even pretending to be a religious person.
No.
It's the people around him.
I mean, he would go through phases where all of a sudden he'd get mad religious, but
yeah, it's the people around him who are, and it's the system. And there are many secular atheist families who have the same system. This is a human phenomenon.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous sometimes. Like, people pretend, oh, it's only religious people do this. Really?
No. Yeah.
It's like, what? It's like when people say, oh, religion has caused all these wars. I'm like, have you looked at the last 100 years? Like, we've killed more people in the last century than ever, and that had nothing to do with religion.
Yeah, nothing.
Well, that had nothing to do with atheism either. Okay, well, maybe the problem is human beings. Maybe we're the problem. Maybe it's not atheism or religion. It's human beings. But yeah, I thought the song was great. I thought that Shorty did a really, really good job. Again, this is another situation where it's like, I'm glad that we got to actually see the official video, because like,
I know
all the person did was.
That's why I didn't want you to stop it. I couldn't. Even if we get striked and shut our channel down for a couple weeks, like, right. I wanted to see this.
Yeah, like they put the translation.
It doesn't change. It doesn't change anything. I know.
I knew it wasn't going to solve anything. But to me, it was worth it, and I'm glad that happened. So.
Yeah, you know what it reminded me of? So, there was a kid's song that we used to do in Sunday school, and it was like, it's just, I thought it was If You're Happy and You Know It, Clap Your Hands. But what's the one where she did like
Joy?
the depression one?
Joy
Yeah.
I got the joy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay,
Yeah.
so it was, I've got the joy down in my heart, but it was like always happy. I've got that joy
Yeah.
down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? And it was like us kids would just wee, wee, wee. It was just like a fun kids song that we did a lot. We do it in school because we were always in private school and it was in Sunday school. And it was always used as like a happy like kids song. And the song always did make me feel happy because I did feel like I had joy in my heart because of, you know, Jesus and stuff. So anyway, this girl, her father had died, right?
Yeah.
And she, like, people were expecting her to have the joy of the Lord and be happy, but she was so sad because her dad had died. And so she redid that song, like...
Yeah, we'll probably review it at some point.
It's so good in the sense of, like this girl, the way that she started out the song, it was not the most beautiful vocal style, but it communicated something. It communicated, like, a certain, like, rawness and pain that I just thought she did a really great job. So
yeah,
this one's a silent count for me. Silent count is when it just kind of just a little bit too holy, I guess, or a little bit too something to put a number on it. And this girl's pain or her experience and, you know, how her experience made me feel and everything, like I can't get it. I can't put a number on it. And I'm assuming that, you know, Mike, you're the one that picked this. I'd love to have an email as to why this song is so impactful for you, because I'm like, you know, I can see how women would get a lot out of this, but you're the one that picked this one. And so I'd like to know what your take is on that. So vinandsori@gmail.com, you know, if you could. If not, I understand some of these things are just kind of too private, but so that's my thing.
Yeah, and I think the, you know, the lesson learned from me, and yeah, it's a silent count for me too, but that's, you know, that's one of the reasons why we were having internally here, we were having a family issue that was going around, and, you know, Dorian likes the family meal at the table, whatever. Yep. And he's like, all right, guys, come to the family table. And I was, you know, we all got together at the family table, and he's like, all right, Father, do the little prayer. I was like, fuck that. We're going to deal with this shit. Mm-hmm. We're not going to hold hands and pretend that we're, you know, so it just, you know, and it's...
And today the food got cold, you know.
Food got cold, and it was a little bit awkward, but, yep. I mean...
But it was better. We were better for that. That was like the first of, like... because there's lots of times where people will talk about what needs to change or what would be better, but they won't do the work to make that change. It's like, okay, everybody acknowledges that this is an issue, but then, like, it's not going to miraculously happen. Like, somebody has to be the one that says, okay, well... We've said that we're a family. We said that we're close, and we've said that, you know, if there's an issue between us, we're going to discuss it. But here we have this opportunity. It's like, well, are we going to really, like, you know, wreck dinner over this issue?
Yeah.
But you were like, no, we are. And it wasn't like it was anything. I don't even remember what the issue was, honestly.
Well, it was pretty, in my view, it was pretty significant.
Okay.
It wasn't anything like, but again, like, things don't get to the point of an Oathbreaker song if you do that. That's why I'm like, I'm going to make a big deal out of things that people might not think is a big deal, because I don't want things to get to that point in the first fucking place. Yep. And if you, but I wanted to make a show of that to a degree, because, you know how we're always thinking they're going to have their own families at some point. So I just wanted a memorable moment where it's like, we're not doing these family rituals when we have this shit hanging over everybody and we know that this is happening. We're not going to pretend. We're not going to go past it.
Right.
And, you know, I knew you were going to be uncomfortable with it because I know how you were raised or whatever. But
yeah, but I wasn't upset about it. I thought it was good.
I was surprised you supported it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's
I just
great.
didn't know how to get there, because even though, like, that's what I want, I don't know how to get there because I've never seen it modeled. And I don't think that, like... I don't think I had the say, because maybe because of the patriarchy. I'm not really sure. I don't think that I had the say or the influence to make that happen, like with my family growing up or anything like that. Where you took it to a whole new level. If you had like a problem you would be like, you'd leave. You know what I mean? Like, you'd go somewhere else. You'd spend the night somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, you weren't going to sit there and go with the bullshit.
Yeah. Or I'd get kicked. I mean, I'd get kicked
Or
out.
you'd get kicked, right.
And a lot of the leaving was involuntary.
Well, yeah, but there was like one of them where it was like kind of.
Oh, there was a couple of, a couple of them. But yeah, I agree. So, do what you will with that, dear listener. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone. Ben, you forgot all the millions of children that have been died by your beloved, that have been killed by your beloved secularism. Because you've never denied that we kill bunches of children due to secularism. You forgot to talk about that. So, be consistent, Ben.
Look, we maintain consistency. We talk about our religion negatively if there's something negative to say about it. So do the same.
No, that was Ben trying to make a ridiculous analogy. When I said, look at the last 100 years, specifically talking about World War I, World War II, and the Korean War. Mm-hmm. The ridiculous analogy between that and Sharia, as if there's any in any way, shape, or form correlation between the amount of deaths that Sharia has brought to the world versus the amount of deaths at World War I, World War II, the Korean War, and the atheist governments of the Soviet Union and the horror that the atheist Soviet Union brought to the planet, Ben. So, again, let's just say that the problem...
He says literally no one has died from secularism. Literally no one. Literally.
It's literally called, I've got the article, I'll bring the article up here. Forced secularism in the Soviet Union, and how many thousands and hundreds of thousands of people died in the forced secularization campaigns in the Soviet Union. Ben, you are hilarious. That's what Ben called me. Remember he called me like 2.5 years ago. He was like
2.5 years ago. Okay.
He said atheism had nothing to do with the Soviet Union. And I said, Ben. So I quoted Yemilian Yalovsky, where he said that it was militant state atheism was the reason that they were.
That's what they said. Yeah.
And he goes, who is that guy? I'm like, it's Yemilian Yalovsky. Like, it's the guy that did the killing, Ben. Shout out to Ben Webb.
All right,
and I'm not even blaming atheism or secular. It's human beings. I don't care what ism you hold to. Mm-hmm. Once human beings get into power, whether it's religion, irreligion, secularism, Sharia, it doesn't matter. Once they get into power, they're going to abuse it and kill a bunch of people. There you go. It's not the Christians that are butchering kids in the womb, Ben. That's y'all. All right, guys, we're coming right back. We got more jams for you. Commercial break, then let's go.